Hi guys, today we're looking at the upper cross syndrome. Um, as most of you know who come to the classes, we talk about posture and the importance of keeping good alignment whilst you're exercising. So the upper cross syndrome is sort of just one element of posture, and that's what we're going to focus on today. Um, so, if we have a look at what an upper cross syndrome posture is, it's where I suppose most commonly what we would see is almost like a hunchback forming, where the head sits forwards, the shoulders are rounded forwards, the chest drops, and it's a very sort of classic posture. If there's one posture that a lot of people have, it's this type. As I say, they've got the sort of rounded shoulders, the head sitting forwards, and that literally affects everything else below and above. So when people are exercising, if they've got an upper cross syndrome, because they haven't got the mobility in the shoulder, they can start overusing their lower back. So that upper cross syndrome could be causing sort of lower back problems, because when you're raising your arms above your head, you've got to create that range of movement which isn't there at the shoulder. So you have to create it through your lower back, and plus as well, it's putting a lot of tension through certain tissues. So the muscles that are short and tight, they're having to overwork and do a lot of work. This type of posture can cause like neck tension, and headaches, and and those types of issues as well. It's also not great on like your breathing. So your breathing can be affected due to this posture because of the position of the rib cage and the chest. So it's not just exercise that it affects. It can affect you in many different ways. As I say, the circulation, the nerves that pass through that shoulder complex, they can become compressed, and you can create issues there. So it's something that, if it isn't corrected, will just generally get worse and worse and worse. So we definitely want to be looking at addressing this when it is there. Um, so the upper cross syndrome is basically muscle imbalances. Yeah, as we said, certain muscles become short and tight, and we'll look at those in a second. And certain muscles become weak and inhibited, or just over sort of stretched. And we're going to be looking at some exercises in a few minutes that can help to correct that. But generally, this type of posture is caused by sitting at a desk for long periods of time, driving, those repetitive sort of tasks that we maybe do where we're working at maybe a counter or something, and we're in poor posture for long periods of time. These are all the sorts of things that encourage this type of posture. So it's important that on a daily basis we are doing some exercises to pull us away from that faulty loading. Um, this faulty posture can be corrected by stretching, as we've said. So we've got to focus on stretching the tight muscles and strengthening the weak muscles. So, how do we look at correcting it? So, we want to specifically focus on stretching the chest, because the chest muscles are pulling the shoulders forwards. We perhaps maybe also need to stretch out the upper abdominals as well, because they'll be pulling the rib cage down. We need to stretch out the lats, which I'll show you a stretch for that in a few moments. And we need to stretch the neck muscles that again sort of pull the head forwards and into that posture that sort of cramps the neck up. We're going to then look at foam rolling the T spine or thoracic spine. Again, that structure, that upper part of the spine, can become locked into that position, and we want to try and get you out of that kyphotic position, and prevent any wear and tear before it becomes sort of a structural sort of change where it then gets even more challenging to reverse. And then we're going to do some corrective exercises called the prone cobra and the chin tucks, which will help to again strengthen those weak muscles and pull you back out of that alignment. Okay, so if we have a look at this video now, you'll see the first one we're doing here is, so this is a chest stretch, and all you're doing is placing the elbow at shoulder level, the palm of the hand onto the wall of the door frame, and then just leaning forward slightly and turning the body away from the arm or the side that you're stretching. And you're just going to hold each of these stretches for about 15 to 20 seconds, and I do each of them. So each of these stretches, hold them 15 to 20 seconds and hold them, and repeat them at least 3 to maybe 5 times. And as I say, you might need to do these, well, you will need to do these on a daily basis, because if you are stuck in these postures for long periods, sitting for long periods, you definitely will need to repeat them many times throughout the day to have a chance of correcting this. Then we move on to stretching the lats, which is the muscles running right down the sort of outer part, the sides of the back. So again, same protocol with this. You're going to stretch each of them twice or 3 to 5 times even for 15 to 20 seconds. As you can see with this stretch, you're placing the palm sort of faced inwards, the thumb pointing up towards the ceiling, arm is straight, and then you're going to lower yourself down and then pull the body away but leave the arm out in front, so that you can feel that stretching right down the sides, the back there, and then muscles again, when they're short and tight, pull you into that poor posture. So now we're stretching the neck, so the lateral sort of neck muscles. So you're going to gently drop the head to the side, keep the shoulders pulled back and down whilst you're stretching these, and you'll feel this right down the sides of the neck. Then we do rotation, to turn the head as far around as you can. Again, keeping the shoulders in good position, and turn the head the other way. Hold for each of these for that 15 to 20 seconds, and then we're going to tuck the chin in and keep the chest lifted, tuck the chin in, and we'll feel that all down the back of the neck there. So there's some basic stretches that you should be doing daily. Now we're going to foam roll the T-spine, so we're working sort of bottom part of the rib cage to the up towards the neck area. It's important when you foam roll in this area that you go slowly and gently lower yourself over the foam roller. Don't just whiz up and down it. You want to slowly control yourself. So as you roll back on the foam roller, slowly breathe out and lower the shoulders towards the floor, so you're getting like an extension through that part of the spine. If you have any uh, bone issues or like osteoporosis or anything like that, then it might be worth getting that checked before doing anything like this, or speak to me in person, because obviously we don't want to make anything worse. But generally, if you've got a fairly healthy spine, just a little bit of poor posture, then that is a great exercise to stretch out that section of the spine. But as I say, just be really careful as you're doing that exercise. And then we're going to go into the prone cobra. So this is the corrective exercise. So the goal of this is to be able to do 2 to 3 sets of 10 repetitions. One repetition is holding the movement at the top for 10 seconds and then resting at the bottom for 5 seconds. And you need to be able to do 10 of those. What I want you to pay attention to here is, as I lift the chest up off the floor, try not to lift up too high that you feel it all in the lower back. What we're actually looking to do is just straighten out this upper part of the spine here. So lift the chest off the floor slightly, so we're straightening that upper part of the spine. You'll notice that what we want to do is turn the palms outwards and the thumbs up towards the ceiling, so that we're pinching the shoulder blades together. And then we're going to tuck the chin in and keep the ear in line with the shoulders, so we're looking straight down. It's also useful to squeeze the bum muscles to protect and stop you overusing your lower back. So remember, this is meant to be working this upper part of the spine here, across the shoulder blades here, and keeping that chin tucked in so that we're focusing on alignment, and we'd hold that position for the 10 seconds and then rest at the bottom of the movement for 5 seconds. And again, we'll do this again. So notice how the chest lifts off the floor slightly. Turn the thumbs out, pull the shoulder blades back and down. It's important them shoulder blades go back and down, and keep the chin tucked in whilst you're doing the exercise, and 10 seconds with each rep. Okay, so there are a few other exercises that I can recommend if you are someone that suffers with this type of posture, or if, as I've mentioned earlier, if you find that you have issues with tension, headaches, or that you're just generally uncomfortable in your back, then make sure you come and book some time with me so that we can talk about this and some specific exercises. There's more exercises that I can show you that you can start doing straight away to really start to correct this posture type. So if you've got any questions, or if you want to ask anything else, feel free to email, and we can book some time to go through it in more detail.